Be still now. You must save your strength.
helped the clan mother retake Orentia. Bright moons, and well done.
Another traveler, eh? Perhaps Raifi can provide you with knowledge that helps further your understanding of the Khajiit. As a Dagirat Khajiit, this one thinks you should know more about us. Under the bright moons, we jump and dance among the tree limbs of our home. In darker times, we use our cunning and magical arts. Yes, that is a good start. As with anything, most, but not all. And yes, start. We are varied, even as your kind is. And generalities close your mind. We've likely been observing you for a while. Up to you to apply it as such. Basis to draw upon. Now keep an open mind.
Oh, wait. You're going to ask me questions now, aren't you? Go ahead. Far be it for me to do victory. I guess Raifi here would tell you that generalities are only starting points to a larger discussion. You...
Trust me, he said. Believe in our Lord of Infection and Pestilence, he said.
Nomadic life can be hard, yes. But to be trapped within the walls of a city, confined to a shop for the rest of your days? Now that is a truly unfortunate fate.
never going to end, is it? So much to do, so little time.
Yeah, I used to live by the Green Pact, but then I just had one taste of moon sugar and I was pretty much hooked. Been living in Merryvale ever since. I mean, there's a reason the Khajiit basically worship this stuff.
Farmhands needed at Mother's farm! Roxargo's mother is very nice, he promises. Oh, Roxargo works so hard.
Remember their names. Since you won't leave, I've summoned the guard.
I called the guards and they're on their way.
Since you won't leave, I've summoned the guard. I called the guards, and they're on their way.
Work! Farmhands needed at Mother's farm! Roxargo's mother is very nice. He promises. Oh, Roxargo works so hard.
You know, my mother was right. I should never have wished for a talking house cat. Now I'm riding herd on them.
Your mother told you to be careful what you wish for, too?
Don't all parents tell their children that? Besides, I don't think the Elfleys are that bad. Except for the one with stripes, maybe.
I expected sorrow and despair, but the situation here goes beyond even my prophetic inklings. On the surface, yes. But peace through tyranny provides false harmony. Euraxia uses fear and threats of violence to keep the Khajiit in line, making them second-class citizens in their own province. It appalls me to think Euraxia and I are related. Her grip on Rimmon is far tighter than it appears. Very well. But what I'm about to show you isn't for the faint of heart. Follow me. Have you ever visited a Rimmon workhouse? They treat the Khajiiti workers worse than
dragon
slaves.
sightings in elsewhere? Multiple dragons. Dark runes. One dragon is bad enough.
More than her. This one.
It's that building over there. For most of Rimmon's Khajiit, it's the only job available.
A bounty has been placed on your person in accordance with local law. This one is here to demand payment. Your compliance is appreciated.
The workhouse serves to snare the poor and the destitute, those who fall behind on their debts. They come here to find employment and earn a decent wage, but the costs deducted to pay for room and board leave them worse off than they were before. One of the first things Euraxia did after declaring herself queen was to institute tariffs and fines that apply only to Khajiiti citizens. No one else needs the workhouse. A cruel tactic, but effective. The Rimmon Khajiit? No. Any complaints incur fines for causing a public disturbance or some other inane ordinance. No one wants to risk falling even further into debt. It's ingenious. Monstrous, but ingenious. Oh, Euraxia is clever. She pays the Khajiiti, and the workhouse isn't technically a prison. On the surface, it appears to be a place that helps society's unfortunates, but underneath, it's slavery without any of the uncomfortable trappings. Now, let's visit the Rimmon marketplace.
The Crestshade refugees are safe, and Captain Genevi survived the battle. You had something to do with that, didn't you?
It may be hard to see, but the Khajiiti merchants struggle to keep their stalls open, while the less bestial business people rake in the profits. Euraxia would have you believe it's a matter of work ethic, but we know better. Unfairly doesn't begin to cover it. Khajiiti merchants must deal with high tariffs, extra inspection fees, costly licenses. Euraxia's squeezing them for every piece of gold imaginable. She even instituted a fur tax. On the surface, it seems reasonable to make Khajiiti pay for extra inspections to ensure their fur isn't getting into the products they sell. And while they do shed, it's just another way to discriminate against the rightful citizens of this land. Come along. I want to show you the improvements Euraxia made to the palace wall. See how the siege weapons sit upon the walls? When it comes right down to it, you're looking at the secret of my half-sister's success. How else do you think Euraxia maintains order and keeps the elsweyr defense force at bay? She declared publicly, and has repeated often, that any attempt to liberate Rimmon will see her unleash the full fury of the siege weapons upon the city. If Euraxia can't have Rimmon, then neither can anyone else. She'd destroy the city in a heartbeat if she thought she was in danger of losing control. Of course, she tells her non-bestial subjects that only the Khajiit districts are targeted. Absolutely not. But the lie makes her supporters feel better. The Khajiit know that even a peaceful protest could result in the destruction of Rimmon. So far, no one has dared to challenge Euraxia's will in this matter, and for good reason. When we get to the palace, let me do the talking. As the Elder Tharn, I'll demonstrate my dominance over Euraxia and negotiate a cessation of hostilities.
Here come Queen Euraxia's guests now.
I don't like the looks of these meddlers. I say we feed them to the dragons and be done with it. I know you. I saw you through the soul-shriven's eyes. You were with the fool who thinks himself the shining knight of Sirad. If only he knew what a monster I was. The horrors of Cold Harbor pale before my heinous deeds. my own head, yes. I am the hero of Sirod and the villain of Elsweyr, the champion of the Third Nedic Massacre and the Dark Knight they call the Betrayer. Of course not. I am the genuine article, much more real than a disembodied soul given shape in the flesh cauldrons of oblivion. But why do you presume to talk to me? I have killed greater beings than you for much, much less. Came to that conclusion by yourself, did you? That's what they call me. It has a certain ring to it, but I always preferred my more grandiose titles. Champion, Slayer, Dark Knight. When I am made whole, the cats will pay for what they did to me.
So you're Abner Tharn's bodyguard and valet. Not what I expected. I assume you want to follow your master into the Queen's inner sanctum, huh? I'll allow it. But first, I want to gauge the measure of your marrow. I am Queen Euraxia's chief necromancer. You may call me Zumog Foom. The other grave callers answer to me. And this is my familiar and confidant, Sir Cadwell the Betrayer. Ah, yes. The Betrayer saw you when it looked through the soul-shriven's eyes. The creature you know is a pale shadow of the Dark Knight that once walked these lands. I exhumed his remains and reanimated him. Well, his head. It was all I could find. My actions don't concern you. I just wanted to meet Abner Tharn's lackey and determine if Queen Euraxia had anything to fear. The answer is quite clear. Your insignificance rivals that of the soul-shriven fool, which makes you eminently forgettable.
Now about the rest of my body, O pestilent one.
Your insults won't hasten the process, betrayer.
But there's a terrible draft in what used to be my nether regions.
Presenting Abner Tharn, Grand Chancellor and Overlord of Nibene, Imperial Battle Mage of the Elder Council, and Patriarch of the Tharn Dynasty, and his bodyguard.
Ah, half-brother. Your arrival, it's so unexceptional.
Pretending to be a queen
Hush,
isn't...
Abner, you bore me. Bodyguard, you look interesting. Come talk to me.
You heard her. Good luck.
My sources indicated that my son's murderer was somewhat taller. Ah, well. Now, why in the world should I even consider negotiating with the monster who murdered my dear Javad?
A warning? How thoughtful. You do know that I defeated the Khajiiti army and took control of the Rimmon throne? I am no one's puppet, I assure you. But why do you suppose I have anything to do with dragons? Bold words for a common valet. I hoped my half-brother would provide an amusement, but this is so much better. Let me tell you what happens next. I lock you in my dungeons and do the most interesting things to your body until you die painfully. Do not attempt to sway me with your silver tongue. Mulamnir and I have a special relationship, an understanding. The dragons will secure my hold over elsewhere, and there's nothing you or my pathetic half-brother can do to stop them. Enough! Zumog Foom, what news do you bring?
The Desert Wind Adaptorium has fallen. We move against Riverhold on your word.
Then the word is given. Now, half-brother.
Treachery? How could I ever have anticipated this?
Guards, take them to the dungeons.
I think not. Well, I suppose that could have gone better. I prepared for Euraxia's probable betrayal. Unfortunately, my teleport spell wasn't quite able to penetrate the palace wards, so we wound up down here, in the palace sewer. We heard two things of note. First, Euraxian forces have invaded the Desert Wind Adaptorium for some insidious purpose. And second, my vile half-sister ordered an attack on Riverhold. One thing at a time, my companion, one thing at a time. I need to recover my strength after teleporting us into this skeever hole. I'll need your help to get out of here. Then we can deal with both Desert Wind and Riverhold. My age is finally catching up with me. Thank you so much for poking that open wound. Magic takes a toll on the body. I've been wielding powerful forces since before you were born. There's always a cost. You'd do well to remember that. Eventually. Quicker if you stop badgering me about it. My strength will return. It always does. Now get us out of this sewer so we can warn both Desert Wind and Riverhold. The way out, finally. I can't abide another moment in this stench. Well, that's an experience I won't be adding to my memoirs. We'll separate here. Make it harder for Euraxia's lackeys to follow us. Now. Things actually turned out better than I expected. We know that Euraxia wants something from the Desert Wind Adaptorium, and we know she's about to launch a counterstrike against Riverhold. That's not exactly true. If my power wasn't depleted... Well, let's not digress. I'll go to Riverhold and warn Garish Ree. We'll make sure the city is ready for the attack. Meanwhile, you find out what's happening at the Desert Wind Adaptorium. Adaptoriums serve the same function as monasteries in other parts of Tamriel. Desert Wind and its adepts are dedicated to the Jan Kaj, literally the Order of the Desert Wind. Note that it has numerous entrances, in case the main door is blocked.
Shore's bones. Rigert knew he should have brought more mead. Rigert's favorite diplomatic assistant. How have you been? Rigert has been busy bringing cultures together like a delicious stew made of strangers. Now Rigert could use your help. After our past success, it would be good to work with you again. As soon as Rigert returned home from successful diplomatic endeavoring, the Skald King sent him to elsweyr with gifts for the cats. Rigert is always given the most important, most faraway missions. Problem is, Rigert lost the gifts. So many ways. First, a courier brought Rigert's package to Riverhold instead of Rimmen. Then, as our ship was boarding, a werebear attacked and stole honey needed for my special sweetbread. Last and not least, Rigert's famous minstrels are missing. Thank you, friend. Retrieve Rigert's package from Thedara in Riverhold Marketplace and meet me after in the Stitches. Rigert's diplomacy waits for no man, or woman, or cat. But be careful. Sweaty threats fill elsweyr's deserts.
Greetings, Walker. Have you a moment to speak?
Congratulations on finding the finest cloth merchant in all of Riverhold. Thadara can see that you are in desperate need of a renovation. Thadara was wondering how much longer she would need to keep this stinking thing in her shop. Thadara doesn't know what's inside, but it smells like hot horse cheeks. Your friend Rigger told you about the delivery fee, yes? The courier who brought Rigger's rotten package was promised payment upon delivery. Thadara assumed someone would eventually come to claim its disgusting contents, so she paid the fee herself. It's only fair that Thadara be reimbursed, yes? You can see the courier's invoice for yourself. Thadara wouldn't want you to think you are being cheated. Everything seems correct, yes? Thank you, friend. Thadara had doubts about accepting a strange package that smells like curdled dog slobber, but it felt like the right thing to do. Please visit again if you'd like Thadara to help with your embarrassing sense of style.
my helpful friend. Rigert is pleased to see you return from the desert with your limbs intact. Did you find a misplaced package in Riverhold? Ah, Rigert forgot about the fee. You will find this shocking, but Rigert forgets many things. Especially on the days he drinks mead. Which is all of the days. Don't be worried. Rigert will pay you back as soon as we finish this diplomatic mission. Canon Reeve Jusdo of Alabaster. I am Rigert of Windhelm. On behalf of the Skald King, I present you with a gift of peace from the Nords to bring our cultures closer.
Is your gift rancid cabbage? Because it smells like rancid cabbage.
Not at all! Rigert brought our finest snowy saber cat coats. Although they may have been stored near cabbage. And the cabbage may have gone bad.
Your gift is clothes made from slaughtered cats? This isn't a peace offering, it is a war crime!
These are the finest coats in all of Windhelm. Who wouldn't want to be wrapped in our warm and luscious... cat skins?
Tell your Skald King that if he wants our war to continue, Queen Irene will be happy to oblige.
Rigert's message will be heard by Queen Irene, leader of the Aldmeri Dominion? Rigert feels so important. Things are looking upward, friend. Gather honey flowers from Merryvale Moon sugar farms for Rigert's sweetbread, and there will be peace between the Khajiit and Nords in no time.
What?
needed at Mother's farm. Roxando's mother is very nice.
You must have been drawn by the scent of my rising dough. And don't be shy about staring at Rigart's muscles as he stirs. Did you bring the honey flowers? If there's one thing Rigart knows about the cats, they love their sweets. Nonsense! Rigart's belly doesn't care if mead or meat is swallowed first, so why should a mixing bowl be any different, huh? Rigart has gone far in life by treating every situation like he treats his belly. Give Rigart the flowers and he will add them. I saw Asaldak, the famous Khajiit sweet maker by the Maryvale Farm's fountain. Ask him to try my sweetbread. His endorsement will change the Khajiiti belief that Nords only eat frozen potatoes and inspire a pastry-based esteem between our cultures.
Asaldak understands why you would want to approach him, but he only signs autographs at special events, and he only talks to his admirers at the... Actually, he never talks to his admirers. Asaldak was once invited to Skyrim to try their so-called delicacies, but declined due to a disdain for cold weather. And bad food, and Nords in general. Asaldak will try this Nord sweetbread for a laugh. Tell him Asaldak will be there shortly. This Nord better be finished with his cooking by the time Asaldak arrives. Asaldak does not like to be kept waiting. Because, unlike you, I spent time mastering my craft instead of asking stupid questions. Asaldak redefined food in elsweyr. He was personal chef to the main. He has prepared food for many slobbering Nords, but has never seen one cook anything edible.
Rigart's sweetbread turned out better than expected. It's perfectly brown and tough enough to break a mammoth tooth. Everything should be tough. Our teeth can't grow stronger if we don't challenge them with unyielding treats. When Rigart was a baby, his mother had him suck on rocks to comfort his sore gums. Now his bite is strong enough to snap a bristleback's tusk. It's an honor to meet you, Asaldak. On behalf of Yoren's Scald King, please enjoy Windhelm's famous sweetbread.
Did you bring the bread with you from Skyrim? It's hard as a rock.
Harder than a rock. Rigard made some improvisations to the original recipe.
It doesn't smell too wretched. Asselbach will attempt to take a bite without breaking a tooth.
What do you think? Impressive? Delicious? Ferocious?
Atrocious. Why is it filled with flowers? Why are the flowers covered in dirt? Why are there insects in the dirt? How did you make something so terrible?
Could you please stop stomping around like that? My head is pounding enough as it is. Sure as bones. We never should have eaten those sugar cakes. Rachin sugar cakes. Our manager, Bacargo, tried to warn us about them, but what kind of band would we be if we paid attention to warnings? Ah, Rigard. The last time I felt this bad was when I tried to beat him in a mead drinking contest. We don't want to let him down, but we can hardly stand, let alone give a performance worthy of the Screaming Mammoths. He needs someone to play, but that someone doesn't need to be the Screaming Mammoths. Take our instruments and sing the song yourself. That cat will never know the difference. There's a lute and a drum in this chest.
Welcome back, friend. Rigord found Lady Isa. She's not as talkative as the women in Windhelm, but she's quite classy. Rigord is sure a Nord ballad will convince her to help make peace between the Nords and Khajiit. Where are the screaming mammoths? The screaming mammoths let you touch their instruments? Rigord tried to touch them after a performance in Nibelheim, and his brain still aches from the pummeling. Definitely Rigord's favorite head injury. Why did they give you their instruments? Rigord can be an official screaming mammoth? He can play the instrument of legendary lutist Frongir Half-Giant? Did Rigord drink a barrel of mead and find himself in a land made of dreams? These are honest questions. Rigord gets confused. Rigord's mind explodes like the top of Mount Vardenfell. Drinking mead with the mammoths was one thing, but playing their instruments is beyond Rigord's wildest imaginings. We will play Lady Isa the best ballad Elsweyr has ever heard. Your eyes shine like glowing mushrooms in glomerates, and you're sturdy as a mountain goat's hoof-fed feet. We should meet to drink mead and eat wolf meat.
Why are you singing to my house cat, Luna?
Lady Isa? Rigord has a logical explanation. You have great influence with the Khajiit, so Rigord wanted to impress you with his song. But first, he had to practice on your cat, because he's like a tiny you.
It's difficult to imagine anything sadder than a confused Nord clutching a lute. Lady Isa is going to pretend that Ambassador Rigord did not just confuse her with a house cat. Your friend is the one who should apologize. His attempts at diplomacy have already offended Justo and sickened Al-Sadak. Fortunately for you, Lady Isa is convinced that Ambassador Rigord's intent is pure. She even brought him a peace offering. Rigord must be rewarded for his comical yet well-intentioned mission to improve relations between the Nords and Khajiit, so we can always know when he is near. No, but we can all see that Ambassador Rigord is very special. This one presents him with this dignified and stylish reward.
Lady Isa is eager to use her influence to bring peace between the Nords and Khajiit, isn't she? Nothing solves problems better than a traditional Nord love ballad. Except for mead. A collar and bell made to fit Rigord's rippling neck? Rigord will jingle it with pride. Please accept this gift, friend. Rigord could not have made peace between the Nords and Khajiit without you. This song is dedicated to Rigord's favorite diplomatic assistant, and Lady Isa, and that house cat, and increased peace between the Nords and Khajiit. Oh yeah, and mead!
Lady Isa will do her best to make peace between the Nords and Khajiit, just so you can make your way back to Skyrim.
Rigert could not have completed his diplomatic mission without your help, friend. Rigert is externally grateful and will return the lute and drum to the Screaming Mammoths so you can go about your business. After Rigert plays with them some more, Rigert will go wherever the winds of diplomacy take him, friend. Rigert refuses to rest until Tamriel's races are all sitting together peacefully, drinking mead and singing songs about... mead, probably.
sweetmeats this one could do. But it's you that she needs. Oh, she begs and pleads in the moonlight. She will surely worship you. But come the morning sun, she'll most definitely run.
You fought beside Lord Garishri in Haven? This one should be so lucky.
The wood elves have their rot-met brew, made of meat and bile. The lizards eat their bugs and twigs and everything so vile. But those of us who walk the sands know life's greatest pleasure is strictly sweet, a tasty treat. It's moon sugar that we treasure. Fields drenched in moonlight, dewed with summer rain, brilliant green and growing tall, sweet moon sugar cane, sweet moon sugar cane. Gifted by the moons as they wax and wane, fill our bowls and fill our souls, sweet moon sugar cane, sweet moon sugar cane. We sprinkle it on fine steak, glistening so sweetly. We smear it on our salmon and gobble it up completely. We bake it into our sweet treats. Don't you want a taste? So eat it quick and wash it down, 'cause nothing shall go to waste. Fields drenched in moonlight, dewed with summer rain, brilliant green and growing tall, sweet moon sugar cane, sweet moon sugar cane. Gifted by the moons as they wax and wane, fill our bowls and fill our souls, sweet moon sugar cane, sweet moon sugar cane. Sweet moon sugar cane. to senches den. Who is he? Kunzari, Kunzari. Sing it loud, sing it clear. Fighter, lover, poet, thief. He's one Khajiit to cheer. Who is he? Kunzari, Kunzari. Sing it proud, sing it strong. Brave and sly, rarely shy. He never steers you wrong. No dungeon cage can hold him, no lock can bar his way. Some stories claim that he's a god, or so they say. He dragged the light from Joan and Jode down to the growing fields, and now we have moon sugar and all the goody deeds. Who is he? Kunzari, Kunzari. Sing it loud, sing it clear. Fighter, lover, poet, thief. He's one Khajiit to cheer. Who is he? Kunzari, Kunzari. Sing it proud, sing it strong. Brave and sly, rarely shy. He never steers you wrong. Dancing through savannah grass, on light feet we glide. Hey, hey, Bandari boy, tap your heels in stride. Hey, hey, Bandari girl, swing your tail beside. Valvijavaru,
Yes.
Bandari, carrying our world in packs. Valvijavaru, Bandari, our kingdom on our backs. Home is on the move again, on wagon wheels we go. Hey, hey, Bandari boy, where the wild winds blow. Hey, hey, Bandari girl, our caravan in tow. Valvijavaru, Bandari, carrying our world in packs. Valvijavaru, Bandari, our kingdom on our backs.
Awesome video.
He's working it